Okay, it is October the 22nd, and we've heard that there's a snowstorm coming. So yesterday I stripped all of the plants bare, I pulled them all out, and so I've got Peruviana arancillo, and I've got a lot of unripe peppers. I picked the ones that were that had already reached adult size but hadn't ripened yet. Same thing with the Bishop's crowns. I've got lots that are beautiful looking. I think that's beautiful. And then a lot of the green ones, the ones that just started to ripen. Tested them and they have a lot of heat, these green ones. These kind of lighter shades, or the actually downright green. These still have a nice, they don't taste as sweet, but they do have a nice bit of heat, and no different than a jalapeno in my view. So I've done the same thing with the tomatoes. Here's the San Marzano tomatoes that I had that hadn't ripened, and I've got a few varieties of the grape and cherry tomatoes, and we've been picking the tomatoes all season. This is what's left of, I'd say these are pretty orange, so I'm gonna maybe use these ones, or I'll make another sauce out of that. But in the meantime, what I did yesterday was I had about 4 pounds of tomatoes. I used 2 pounds, and I made the Salsa Verde, quite easy to do actually. It's just roasting in the oven. I'm putting it at 450. Now I've got this thing here. It's actually, the water's boiled already. I'm just going to put some jars in it because my idea is to can it up. And it just seems like a good way to make use of the unripe tomatoes instead of throwing them away, which I confess I've been doing every year. So I'm trying to look for a new way to do it. It takes an onion, it takes garlic, some lime juice, and if it's to your taste, and it is to ours, cilantro. And once it's roasted and soft and kind of blackened a little bit, it goes into the blender, and away you go. So that's pretty much as simple as it gets. Now I did this yesterday, turned up beautiful, and so now I'm just going to heat it up again, and I'm going to make the rest of it, add it to it. I used a little too much lime yesterday, so it's a little bit more sour than I want it, so I'll probably use a little less this time, but everybody has their own taste. So I'm going to do that, and that's all I'm going to say for now, and then when I've got to the next step ready to go, I'll do a little more filming. Okay, so I have all of the tomatoes. The ones that are a little larger I cut in half, especially San Marzanos, a little bit longer. I've got half that onion chopped up into chunks. It doesn't really matter what it looks like or how that goes, because after all, it's going to go into the blender. And yeah, I've got the peppers. I've got 2 of each type that I have here, and that's to taste. I just don't want it to be too hot that nobody's going to want to eat it. That's my family. I would have it a little hotter, but that's not very nice. So I've got all of that ready to go, and I have the garlic cloves. I have 3 very good sized garlic cloves. Cut them in half. I've got them sitting in oil because I'm going to want them to caramelize. But if I put them in now, there'll definitely be little chunks of charcoal when I pull them out. I don't want that to happen. I've got the jars in here boiling, and I've got what I made yesterday. The first half sitting on the stove, just kind of simmering, and I'm going to put this everything around. Okay, no, you guys, just sit where you are. Sit where you are. And it ends up having a very nice roasted flavor. I forgot to mention that I am going to set the timer for 15 minutes, because after 15 minutes I want to kind of give them a stir and see what's happening. Okay, so 15 minutes are up, and I've taken it out, and you can see a lot of the liquids have come out. They're drying a little bit. I've got a little bit of char happening here, especially on the onions, because of the sugars in the onions. So that's nice. It smells very nice in here, even as it is. And this is very good. Okay, I'm going to put it in for another 15 minutes, and then I'll take it out and we'll see what progress we've made. Half an hour it's been in there, and it's looking pretty good. I think it's going to be ready maybe a little faster than I had anticipated. But what I did was I cleared a spot in the middle. I just didn't want the garlic to burn, because it does burn easily, and garlic is very bitter and ugly when it burns, whereas the rest of this gets a nice char taste to it, and that's what I'm looking for. So I'm going to put this in. I'm going to put this in for the final 15 minutes, but keep an eye on it, and then as soon as it's ready, then I will move on to the next step. I think it's done. The garlic is soft and very fragrant, and you can see where it's caramelized, so that's beautiful, and that's exactly what I wanted to see. and there's char on most everything, so I'm pretty happy with that. So I'm going to actually move all of this into a vessel I can use to convey it over to the blender. So I've got everything into the blender now. I'm just going to give it a blend. I haven't put in any spices, and you'll know that I didn't salt anything, like I didn't season anything. I just put, to roast it, I just put it there exactly as they are, except for the oil, a little bit of olive oil I put on the garlic. So I'm just going to go ahead and blend it a little bit, and let's see how that goes. To kid you, it's a bit of a trial getting this to blend because there's not a lot of fluid there, but I've got it pretty much the way that it could be. I would like to get a little bit more blended, and I still have to put this in, the cilantro. So I'm going to put cilantro in, and I'm going to just suggest that unless you really like your Salsa Verde to be sour, I don't really think it needs the lime juice. I'm pretty sure that ordinarily Salsa Verde is made with tomatillas, and I do not believe that they're as sour as the unripe tomatoes are. So you might want to hold off on putting lime juice in until you've tasted it. That's just my suggestion. Now, I'm not going to necessarily give you like a handful of cilantro, a bunch of cumin, salt and pepper, and we also like to use seasoning salt here, high seasoning salt, something we like. And again, I'm not really using that, I just put that there so I wouldn't forget to mention it. And I'm just going to season it the way that I like it, and I don't ordinarily use like spoonfuls of something. So I'm going to leave that to you because you're going to be able to season it to taste, and it's very seasoned, even without putting anything in it. It's got a pretty good flavor, and it's got a nice heat. It's got a nice kind of a like the roasting, it gives it a nice little char, and it's very Mexican flavored, I would say. Very good. So I've combined the two batches of the Salsa Verde together, and I'm just heating it up because I want to put it in super hot into the jars, which have gone through their sterilization process. They're all ready to go. I'm boiling the water again because I'm going to go in for a bath afterwards, half an hour, and then I'm going to feel good about them. So anyway, tastes great. Very good, actually. It tastes exactly like Salsa Verde that we've had in Mexico, and that's really what I was aiming at. So cumin and cilantro, I think they really help, but if that's not to your taste, you can actually just put in whatever herbs or spices that you would like. So that's great. So thanks very much. Thanks for watching, and good luck with your batches.